everybody. This is Corn Boy from Four Horsemen Toy Design, and you're listening to the Euro Legions podcast.
Welcome to episode 97 of the Euro Legions podcast. This will be our last regular episode for this year. We might drop a couple of Patreon episodes or something, or do a live stream early in the new year, but this will be our last regular episode. So we had to do a pretty big one, and this one is the end of year awards for 2024. So we started this tradition last year, and being our first full year, so this is our first full year, and it's going to be fun. We're going to stick to the same format as last year. And Rich, you're fresh off your work quiz, so how did that go?
That went extremely well.
Quizmaster at work.
I did 10 drawings. Obviously, hopefully everybody that watches knows the standard of my drawings. They're epic. And it was
how many people were in the quiz?
10 people.
So like there's 20 people, if they're all in couples, talking now about your crazy drawings at home.
Yes. Yeah. Well, a couple of them took them home to show their husbands, going like, "Do you know what these are? Because I have no idea."
I was going to say. I thought you were going to say they loved them so much. It's like, what is wrong with people?
So it was my take on Christmas movies. So it was either a character or a scene from a Christmas movie, and my inimitable drawing style. So
they might get a reuse on this podcast.
I think there's
our next live stream. Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, they're too good not to use again. One in particular.
Absolutely.
Two in particular, I was extremely pleased with, and not one of the 10 people got them. So I was even more pleased. It was like, well, they're just not highbrow enough to know those films.
Yeah, well, Mal, fresh from compiling your top 50 for your top 10 figures. How are you doing?
I'm very reserved this year. I'm very lean and to the point this year. I think listening to that last episode with the predictions, where the fence was so worn down after I'd finished.
You're critically kind of judging your own podcasting now. So it's going to be a new Mal for 2025.
This is the year of
getting off the fence.
Yeah,
I was joking with John earlier, Mal. I was like, this is going to be a monster show. And John's like, to get through it quickly. I was like, well, you have to disconnect Mal from the call every time he's about to speak.
No, but to be fair, so the only we obviously didn't need to do pictures of each other's top 10, 50, whatever Legions figures. So we just did pictures of because we have a section for the third party stuff, the sculpts, the toy photographs, and the customs. So we thought it'd be cool to have pictures of those here if people are watching on YouTube, especially, and for each other, because it'd be hard to describe maybe someone's awesome toy photograph that we would actually recognize who it is. So the boys sent them over to me so that I could put them into the stream. And Mal stuck to the brief exactly, 3 and 3 and 3, and Rich did not. So,
no. Well, I learned a valuable lesson last year in prepping for it. So I've had a folder saved on my phone with end of year full customs, end of year photos. And there was so much stuff in those two. It's like, well, I'm going to do top 5. I can't narrow it down to 3.
Oh, right. You see, I did the same, but I must have been more merciless and judgy throughout the year, because only very, the very best.
Yeah. Oh, no, I had
made it into mine.
I had the best part of 40 in each of them.
Oh, I did.
So.
No, I had like...
Well, see, this is why. So, if you are, in that category, as in you are a toy photographer or a sculptor or a customizer, and you make the grade, then you're going to know that there's been a lot of careful consideration and
absolutely
a lot of tough competition.
One will add on to mine that I've probably slacked a bit for the last couple of months. So there's been a lot of good stuff in the last couple of months. Unfortunately, none of that will have made it into mine. So I apologise to people who that applies to. Except one of my
5 favourite photos actually got cut because I already had one from that person in it already. So it's like, I need to spread the love here. Number 6, you're bumped up to number 5.
That's fair. That's a good way of spreading it around. I also tried to, you could obviously in certain aspects maybe pick the same person for a couple of things, but I think that is a good idea to spread it around and get as many people involved and mentioned as possible, because I think there is so many things that you miss and so many people that are doing amazing stuff that we just happen to miss. How many things did you see in your list, Rich, that you realized you still have to purchase?
Oh, I lost count with the 3D parts.
Was that tough on your wallet? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was just like going through some of the websites which I'd just not been on, Legions Con and all that sort of stuff. You just don't look at stuff for a while.
Of course.
And all of a sudden I had a list of like 25, 30 new sculpts. It's like, damn it. And like really, really good. I mean, bravo, the sculptors out there at the moment, they're doing so much cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, the way these social media apps work, if you miss a day or two on social media, it's never coming up to the top of the feed again, unless it's like almost going viral, or like mini viral, whatever in this world. But yeah, that's absolutely crazy. Well, shall we get on with a couple of things first? A little bit of news and other business, and the first thing is to plug our buddies' new YouTube channel. That's Art by Ackerman. Curtis has started his own Art by Ackerman channel, which is if you're interested in customizing action figures, you've come to the right place. That's his tagline. So he's going to be uploading videos, or he has been uploading videos of different tips and stuff about customizing, from even talking about breaking down the figures to how you do certain techniques. He had Eric LeBron on already. He's talking about wet palettes. He's been talking about how he set up his area for customizing. So that's kind of the variety of stuff I think you get on there and more. He set himself, I think, lofty start. Now maybe he's just trying to get videos into the channel, but he's doing like nearly a video a day, which I think is going to be tough to keep up even for Curtis. And he's prolific YouTubing. I think that's going to be tough to keep
John,
up.
Can I check? Have you watched the whole? Curtis, I am going to watch these, but I haven't watched any yet. But have you watched the whole of his space setup video?
Yeah, I watched that one.
Did he talk at length about my picture on the wall being inspiration?
I think I leave that for you to find out. That's an incentive for you to watch the video. Yeah.
Or a chance for Curtis to edit it.
I was more interested, in gaining a little bit of inspiration for my own, because I've done a bit of tidying. Actually did a bit of tidying until I... so that's Curtis anyway. So go check him out, Art by Ackerman. You know him if you listen to this show. He probably has more YouTube followers than us already. So I don't know, maybe audio listeners, if you are on YouTube for that kind of stuff, subscribe to us as well. You can still listen on audio, but bumper numbers. I was, I had my couch and everything that's behind me here in the room, a little small kind of fold-out couch that could be used as a spare bed, although I don't know. I don't think that would be practical these days unless I was thrown out. I don't think anyone else could comfortably spend a night in here unless they like the smell of action figures and paint. But it's now covered in boxes of the retailer wave from our little bulk order that we did. So I have figures like the Monkey King and Mr. Fisher Rice. So I managed to get my hands on one of him so that he could be included in... he was going to be included in my top 5 Cosmic anyway, because I was sure he was going to be good. But now I got a genuine look at him so I can see. And Marley is super vibrant. I mean, it's very hard even there on the stream. You can't really see if with the colors they really do pop out. I mean, you can see, but if you put him beside the old one, you really see the difference. It's totally different.
Almost like he's glowing. Oh no, sorry, sore point.
No.
Oh, I don't care. I couldn't give a monkeys myself. I'm just I'm a comedy genius. So
he was meant to,
Yeah, one thing I found out with the skeleton, so very cool. The skeleton is great as well. Just didn't have it on the desk. There's only small amount of space here in front of me. They don't have a 2.0 skeleton neck, which I think is something we definitely miss, and hopefully they introduce, because it's just the normal straight 2.0 neck post painted in black, and I suppose it's okay, so you don't really see much of it, but yeah, it kind of stood out to me. It was the only thing in that figure that I was like, oh, that's a bit strange. But it's black. It kind of, you don't need to worry about it too much. But if you do kind of tilt the head up, you can kind of see more of it. And you're like, oh. Yeah. Now, it's easy. Maybe you could paint it in bone color and maybe that would look better. Or it might look weird because it's a bit thick as a skeleton neck. And I think it's just because this figure has the leather rather than the armor. On the other 2.0 skeleton soldier that has armor, so if it's painted in the kind of black, it looks like the continuation of the armor. So it's a tiny nitpick, but that'd be my only little nitpick from that one. And you boys, so you got Fisher Rice in today, I think, Rich, you said?
I did, yes.
Couldn't wait.
Not had a chance to open him yet. But yeah, I've got 4 sat with you, John, but I've got quite a few blue cosmic heads that I think would work really well. And I just couldn't wait until I get the box from you, especially as I'm going away for Christmas sort of thing. So yeah, tomorrow I'll be bothering the two of you with lots of pictures of different blue heads on it going, what do you think to that? What do you think to that?
I give you a preview of our answers. Oh yeah, that works. That works.
Yeah. That's great. Oh, that looks awesome.
That looks slightly better, but the other one is still awesome. Yeah, it's like Marcus. So I got them from Figura in Lager here, just by me in Germany. Great service as always from Marcus. He threw in a few little freebie, kind of a spider and a crocodile from another line, a bit like the Schleich figures, a similar type of line to that, that I gave to the kids. And I asked you boys if you wanted them first. You said no, give them to your kids. But that was cool at the same. But it's kind of like he knew, Rich, because he wrapped the Fisher Rices in lots of 4. And just plop it straight into the box for you, in a little bale of 4. And then he had my 2 and Mal's 2 then in a bottle of 4. So I had to split them up, unfortunately, Mal. But yeah, you get yours too. Yeah,
you've got the 2 you dropped and then stood on, Mal.
You get extra bubble wrap on yours because you get the. So anyway, we need to get through this stuff. We have a lot of stuff to get through, and we also have at the very end, we're going to have all the listener top 3s, 5s. I asked the Patreons for their top 10s, and I asked on the Facebook page and Instagram page for top 3s. So we'll get through those as well at the end. So let's start off, shall we? Let's have someone bring us to there.
This is Jordan with a Purple Gang, and you are listening to the Euro Legions podcast.
Thank you, Jordan. Sure, I have 2 Jordans. I can't remember what the other one was, but he wanted to take 2, and they both came out well. So
that one was far too normal for a Purple Gang.
Yeah, I think that's what he realized himself. So I'm sure the other one is a little bit insane. So if we do have to transition later, I'll do that one as well. We can have double Jordan. Who doesn't mind double Jordan? So the first section we're going to go for is top 5 cosmic from the year. So we split this up into figures we received in hand. So I mean, if there's a little grey line between the reinforcements 2 and the regular versions of the Legions configures, they can all count. You could even, I suppose, include a figure that maybe an old figure that you actually only got this year. But we don't need to complicate it with that. So we've got the top 5 cosmic Legions. So we'll do it in reverse order. In terms of 5 until 1. So shall we go around the houses with the number 5?
Let's do it.
Who wants to go first? Go for it, Mal. Use cosmic. You can go first.
My number 5 is Operative 83.
Nice. So
he's the colors. It's the Tusk build that we've gotten quite a bit, but it comes with 3 alternative heads, which I've still not ended up buying the 3, which I will do at some point. Colors are great. I think he looks great.
There he is, Operative 83. So what have you got for number 5, Rich?
I have Tusk Experiment CC24.
CC24. So this is one of the cosmic Legions.
One of the exclusives from Legions Con.
This is this guy, the Novian lean head one.
It is, yeah. Great set of parts. The Novian lean head works wonderfully on it. I love the sort of dark lizard skin tones and everything. So
Yeah.
a must-have.
He's a great figure. Yeah, I'm happy I got 2 of them, I have to say. My number 5 is this guy, Tusk Experiment AA20. So that's the Magnus Cosmic, so to speak. So he's another awesome one. He was definitely going to get into the top 5 somewhere. And yeah. Number 4, Mal, go for it.
Number 4 is Tusk Experiment AA20.
So there we go.
Yeah, love the Magnus head. I don't know if I said before on this show, but I definitely said to you guys that I'd done a bounty hunter style character with a Magnus head, and I've just scrapped him because this fills that gap for me. I think he's really, really cool.
Does indeed, yeah. Rich, what's on your number 4?
Leave the picture up, John. My number 4 is Tusk Experiment AA20. It's an
Shanghai.
Yeah, it's just awesome. I'm not particularly a fan of the Magnus head, I have to admit, but the rest of the build and the colours used is much more grunty sort of thing. So yeah, when the regular release comes on sale, I will be getting quite a few more of these.
Yeah, I might be tempted as well.
Excellent.
I really like the backpack as well on him.
Yeah, that is great.
That's great. Yeah.
And is that the one that comes with Vorga? Or is it a new piece?
Yes, yeah. It's the same backpack as Vorga, yeah.
So Tusk Pilot isn't my number 4. He was always going to make the list as well. Great figure. Managed to get a couple of extras in the summertime, in the summer of Cosmerium. Remember that? Seems like a while ago now.
It does, doesn't it?
Like a long time ago now.
There's a lot of stuff been happening this year.
Yeah, I took that little bed off the soundboard today. I was like, I guess we don't need that anymore. Yeah, so Tusk Pilot, great. The red color scheme and everything, and the fact that you can do a couple of different versions of him. And he's another one that you can put a custom head on, various ones, and it just changes the character. You can just write a little bio about him or something, and it's awesome. Right, Mal, number 3.
My number 3, if you stay with Outpost.
Yeah.
I forgot what Axis. It's Callian Shun.
There we go.
I think she's great.
I think one of our first episodes, we were already talking about her as a reveal, and you've been consistent the whole way through. She's always been up there for you.
She's both head sculpts are great. The paint apps are great. The soft goods are great. She's just an awesome figure all around.
Cool. Rich, what do you got for number 3?
Tusk Pilot is my number 3.
Very good. So
just the colours, the sort of cherry red or whatever it is there. It's just glorious. I picked up a painted head from Brian C at Legion's Con 2, painted to match. So I've already got 2, and then I've got another figure which I need to decide on a head for as well.
Cool. So yeah, it's great when you have another helmet, then you match the paint job, or you can just do a kind of an alien or a space creature head, and that works.
But for me, it's the whole look and the whole bio for these guys, because it's just like, arrogant so-and-sos. So I'm going to have one that's, fallen out of favor and is now with some rebel type faction, and, there's another one's a douchebag. And so it's a lovely figure.
Fisher Rice is my number 3. Yeah, he's great. Really like him. New. Could maybe rise up after longer in possession as I start messing with the different builds and whatever, but he's definitely solidly in there in number 3. But there was just 2 other ones that pipped him. It wasn't a case of him being number 3. He could easily be higher, but for the 2 that I just like a little bit more right now. What you got for number 2, Mel?
2. So if we go back to Outpost Axios, this is only number 2. It's 1A and 1B. My number 2.
Here we go.
And it's only number 2 because we've had them before. It's the Sphexian Mind Worker. We've had Sphexians before. As I've said on the last show, Sphexians are my favourite figures of all legions. But yeah, these guys, just because we've had Sphexians before, for this year, these are number 2. And I love the colour. Everything I say all the time. Colours, something that Jeremy recently showed that I already had sort of ideas about is very compatible with the Fisher Ice armor as well, Fisher Ice character as well.
Cool. Rich, what's your number 2?
Operative 83.
Yeah, a bit of nostalgia vote in here as well for you.
Nostalgia vote for me, yeah, as it was one of only the 4 Moti figures I had as a kid. I just love the colour scheme. So I've got a second one. Like Mal, I was debating getting all 3, and I picked one more up at Legion's Con. I may get a third one at some point, but it's just such a cool colour scheme. I had to get another.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
And the different head options. That's just an awesome figure.
Yeah, you can see that it just makes a big difference here with the heads.
Actually, I've just realised why I didn't get a third one, because one of the heads is human looking, isn't it? Because Miriam will be human free.
Fair. Right, my number 2 is the Tusk Experiment CC24. So the Novian Lean build with the kind of snaky / tiger parts. He's just so cool. Love this figure. Yeah. A color scheme and everything, the greens and the purples really works. You get also this alien head is really good as well. You get also a spare set of feet with him, and the pauldrons, another color for those pauldrons, those cosmic pauldrons, and a Legion sword.
If we'd done 6, it was between him and the heavy gunner.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's Mal sneaking his first extra one in of the night then.
Well, let's get his number 1.
And it is probably no surprise, Fisher Rice. When he was revealed, I loved the look of him. I pre-ordered loads of them. And now he's not disappointed. I love his colours. I love that head sculpt. It's, one of the best head sculpts in the whole line, and the whole Legion's line, as far as I'm concerned. And it was awesome.
Cool. And you, Rich, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is also Fisher Rice.
There you go. I kind of guessed, as you hadn't mentioned him already.
That, although it's a Mythic Legion's human head sculpt, that blue makes it work brilliantly.
Yeah.
And just so many parts. Hence, I've already bought another one because my mind's running away with all the stuff I can do with the soft good, the cloth parts, the mechanical part. Yeah, so much stuff.
Just the couple of things here. The 2 neck pieces. That's just a bonus for a customizer. The different arms and legs, a bit like Lige as well. For customizers, these are the parts that if you wanted to build, from like a 3D torso and 3D lower legs, this is what you can makes a whole figure. Out of that, all you need is a little waist peg piece and 3D parts, and you pretty much got a full figure there. So really, really valuable for customizing when you get those parts.
No, absolutely.
And honestly, it's so funny how different you can make him look just by swapping the arms out and removing the chest plate bits. It's bonkers. Yeah,
I haven't got there yet with it. I did change the chest plate bit because I like this blue kind of curved one a bit better, but that's just because I don't have the nostalgia for the Fisher Price figure that it's kind of based on. So, but I still think that looks good as well. But again, that just totally changes the look of the figure,
I've got him, Fisher Rice, and then so far my first member of the Shadow Circle, I used the red vampire head sculpt from the...
oh, wow.
That does look really good.
That works, really
cool. It's such good contrast.
Yeah, it's great.
That's it. I think that's spot on, Rich, what you've just said there.
It does. Red and blue always works together, kind of, and then in that way, really cool. Brilliant. Right, my number 1 we need to get to as well. And what do you think it is?
Heavy gunner.
Heavy gunner. Yeah.
There we go. I love this figure. I had a brain fart at Legion's Con and forgot to get extras. of him, and I know he's sitting on the Source Horseman, but I just haven't needed to order anything there, and I do have 3 of them, so I think that's enough. But I would have got more
suggestion. I think there was a suggestion that I need to properly watch all of the show, but there was a suggestion they're going to close the store. So,
right.
Yeah, so it might be worth, if you do want them, jumping on and grabbing them.
Oh, there's FOMO for
you. Sorry, John.
Collectors love FOMO.
Right. Let's jump over to Mythic Legions then. So, Rich, let's go for you this time. Your number 5
is Kalazir.
Kalazir. So I should have boxes open already. Kalazir.
It's a gin, which is always going to be a huge plus with me. Like Jeremy, I love this sort of look to them. I wasn't convinced about the blue when I first saw him, but in hand, he's incredible. That sword he's got is so good. And he comes with a little lamp as well. Yeah. It's just the soft goods. The necklace. It's such a good figure. Such a good figure.
Yeah, and you get those kind of effects pieces for coming out of the genie lamp, or maybe you put them around the sword or whatever. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, the fade on the blue, the kind of the light and dark kind of shading on the blue body of the figure, really, really, really good. Mal, right? Number 5 for you.
I'm going to make you laugh here, but from 5 onwards, there could have been multiple. At point 5, there could have been multiples that. But I went with Thrace Rayhaler. She's probably not the most elaborate, but again, the head sculpt,
I think she's
I love the pose I've got her in on my shelf. I think she looks really cool.
I think with the soft goods especially, they're quite fancy, I would say.
Yeah,
and the head sculpt is very fancy.
That whole wave, they do loads for several other figures, don't they? And why not? It looks very good, very cool.
Excellent. My number 5, maybe it was kind of a surprise to me when I went through it, but I thought he would be higher. But Tarnog, and he would have been probably close to my top of most anticipated. But he's just a bit of a clunky figure with all these big pieces, a little bit clumsy to deal with in hand. So that's the only reason. When you get him on the shelf and you get him in the pose you like, and assuming he stands up, the brute scale figures are not as good as the 1.0s for standing up for some reason, which is a bit strange. But he's still a great figure. I love him. I love the look of him, but he would have been higher up if everything kind of worked better. I think maybe with the massive big kind of head or headdress pieces here and the big accessory and stuff like that, maybe kind of moves the center of gravity a bit away from him, from the middle, which causes some problems. But that's the reason he's not higher on my list. But he's definitely making my list.
Yeah, I must admit, what you just said there is a perfect sort of explanation of why he's not made it potentially into my top 5.
Right. Rich, number 4.
Lee J.
Lee J. He's also my number 4, so we can get that out of the way straight away. So you tell me why he's your number 4.
Just an awesome set of parts. I mean, the helmet on the head works better than unhelmeted, I have to admit. I love what they've done with the gold. Just giving those red tints to them, that makes it really good. The fact it comes with the dark limbs as well and an extra head, it's just an all-round great figure. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but I love it.
Yeah, I used that torso on my Atlas build.
Okay.
Just to give Atlas a bit more of a bulky armor, and it has the red that works quite well with Atlas. It's not an exact match to the red, but it's close enough.
When you say Atlas, do you mean Attila now, John?
Attila. I meant Attila. Sorry, yeah. The dick.
Yeah.
That guy.
With the little hammer.
Yeah, yeah, and I also I do as well love the orc head that it comes with. I think that's a cool orc head. You can also use that on maybe a more orcish type build. Maybe
I'm wondering how. I've not tried it. I'm wondering how color wise that head would match with the bear barbarian parts from Legion's Con.
Oh, I think it's pretty close. I think somebody said it's close enough. Yeah,
piece or something on. Then you might get away with that.
Especially as it's kind of light and dark. It's darker on the top and lighter on the bottom. So if even just one part of the shading matched, it would work pretty well. So he's my number 4 as well. What's your number 4, Mal?
I went with Calazir. Great figure. Colors, soft goods.
Yeah,
awesome looking figure.
Cool. Number 3 then for you, Rich?
The Skeleton Legion Builder 2.
Right.
Which I know is an extremely basic figure, but he's so much fun.
He is great.
I think I did more posing with him on our show than I have done with most of the other figures.
Yeah, he's great. Look, you can do crazy stuff with him. He's also my number 3, so that gets me. We're on the same page here with Mythic. This is a bit scary. I think we'll be on the page with the number 1 as well. He's great. I love him. I'm also looking forward to the Graveyard Skeletons 4-pack that's coming.
Yes, the colours.
But he's a great figure. What's your number 3, Mal?
I went with Poxus for number 3. I think he's another one. I've got him posed in such a way that I absolutely love him. He, funnily enough, fits what you said about Tharnog, about he's a bit fiddly to put him all together. But once he's together and posed on your shelf, he looks great. He looks so menacing. Well, menacing's not the right word. He looks creepy.
Yeah,
he looks creepy. Like a horrible little creepy thing.
One of the guys on our Patreon he's not a huge Legions collector, Jay Harps, he goes by on the Discord. He got a Poxus and another Legions figure, kind of dip his toes back in, and he was finding it very fiddly with Poxus to put them together because he's not used to the heating up and stuff. And then someone, I think Ben came on and said, just heat the parts, and I think Kevin Boots was telling him how to attach the headpiece, and then it was better. I think you do kind of need to, with Poxus, this. It's an art piece almost. Look at him. So it's good if you just are used to these figures for getting the most out of this type of figure, definitely. And there he is with Flogius, which
I pretty much got him in that pose. Actually, I didn't.
Copying Trevor's homework.
He does a good job.
We're moving on to number 2s, and Poxus is my number 2, so that saves me changing window here. The same. I just think he's great, and he just got slightly above the skeleton in my list just because it's a Legion builder and it's like one of the Dark 4 and all the stuff you get with it. Everything. A shout out to that torso piece, which we will get in the future on other figures. Can't wait for more of that in the line. It's excellent. Rich, what's your number 2?
It's not Ninian. Well, sorry, it is Ninian Infantry. I'm talking.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
An amazing figure. I've wanted Snake Men. People have heard me bang on about it for a long time. The colours are insane. The way they painted the weapons are amazing. But it just got edged out by to my number 1 spot.
Figure.
Yeah. If it had a tail, it would have been number 1.
It does have a tail.
Like a tail body.
A tail body.
I see what.
It's like, what?
It's incredible, but it did just get edged out for number 1. But I'm so happy we've got it. Thank you, Derek. Thank you.
It's number 2, but I still love it.
Yeah.
Okay, and your number 2, Mal?
I've gone with the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. Fun. That's all you need to say. It's just such
yeah,
a
it
fun
is fun.
figure.
Yeah, and he pops up in my toy photography and just shows what a fun figure it is. It can work in any setting. Yeah, I love him. I mean, look at that picture Trevor did with the 4 different poses. And
it's unfortunate how he's not resistant to having a spear through his chest, but I mean,
I actually lean into that, and instead of giving him a belt, I just use that the rib as a kind of a sword. Why wouldn't you? If you've got ribs that you can just stick the sword into, that's your sword holder. Just stick it between rib 7 and 8 there. I mean, you've no nerves anyway. You can't feel anything.
But yeah,
all right,
great. Can't wait for it's made. I mean, I was already more excited about Necronominus than I ever thought I would be before that was revealed. He's just made me more excited.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Necronominus, which will dominate this podcast in the early 2025, I'm sure. Right, number 1, Rich. What?
My number 1 is Poxus.
Right.
There you go.
So tell me how Poxus got above
pretty
the
much
snake
everything. Like Mal said, he's a creepy little so-and-so, which is awesome. That head sculpt with the insect bits coming out, the big bulgy eyes, the unnecessarily long beard. It's just, if I was on a battlefield, I'm like, God, that's a scary dude. Hang on a minute, why is his beard so long? And then I go back to the scary side of things. But the stuff he comes with, his paw runs are great. The arrow with all the different insects coming out. It's just a fabulous, fabulous figure. It was my favorite, one I was looking forward to the most in the wave, and I wasn't disappointed when it came through. And to beat out the Ninian infantry, it must be good.
Yeah. That is always the best thing to hear when it's your most anticipated and it doesn't fall short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As everybody said, fiddly to put together, but once you've got him together, it's such an imposing figure.
Excellent. Well, I'll go back here, Mal, because I assume your number 1 is the same as mine.
The same, yeah. Ninian infantry.
Yeah.
Big surprise, awesome figure.
Yeah, I couldn't put this down for weeks after Legion's Con. It was on my desk every time I was at the desk for whatever, whether it was editing the podcast or doing a bit of work. It was Ninian infantry was there as the hand candy.
Yeah.
So much fun. Yeah. And great bio as well, great story, opens a great part to the line,
Yeah. Very excited to see. Well, obviously we know we're getting 2 more lizard people in Basilia.
Snake people. Whoa, snake people.
Snake
you keep this distinction clear, Mal. Don't give 4 horsemen a chance not to do lizard people. This is a snake person. We still want lizard people.
Yeah.
So with Basilia and the Ninian Guard or whatever it is. It's not Ninian Guard, is it? But it is essentially. Can't wait to see what other
Royal Guard
snake people we get. Yeah.
Cool. Right. Let's move on then to best sculpt. What we got here, Rich? So this is best sculpt within the line, not
although I don't have the figure in hand yet, I did this based on the pictures, and it is the Undead of Fikenfell head with the tattoos.
Cool.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah. I have it here behind me now, but I won't rattle a load of plastic to get it. But it's basically this head. Yeah.
I mean, although the head itself obviously is presumably exactly the same as we've had before, it's just the look to it and all the markings and that sort of thing. I absolutely love it.
Cool. Mal?
Part of the reason he made my number 1 mythic figure, the Ninian infantry, specifically the open mouth head sculpt. I really like that head sculpt.
It's great, yeah.
The detail inside the mouth is just so cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that was mine as well, but then I'll also shout out the new back piece we get to make the Ninian infantry kind of different from what we got with the Oleg, and obviously the tail as well. Which is really cool.
But they sort of slip into one of our other things as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do indeed. Right. Best paint on a figure. Or you can have more than one if you feel like shouting out here, Rich.
Oh no, don't do that, John. Mal's pulling out a sheet with 40 different names on it already for anyone that's just listening to this.
It could have been, but I've done all right. I've kept it to one.
The Ninian infantry was very close on this one for me, but I went with Azahaza.
Right.
I love the patterning. I love how vibrant those greens are. The fact that the hooves are glowing green as well, and the patterning and everything, it really stands out to me because it's a big surface area too to get that on. But it works really well. The shading is great where used. Yeah, it's just a really lovely paint job.
Cool. What you got, Mal?
I've gone with the. You need to go to Cosmic because I've gone with the non-armor parts. So the head, let's say, of the Sphexian Minor. I love the colours. They're just, they don't really come across in the images because it's such a subtle paint app. But
hey, don't drive by Trevor here.
Well, I mean, he does a very good job, but I think even he'd say that there's a lot of subtleties in the colours that a photograph just doesn't quite pick up. So yeah, love it.
But this head sculpt here, basically, yeah.
Yeah, that's the head sculpt I've got on mine. I've got that
that's
built,
awesome.
so.
Excellent. I went with just the Ninian infantry as a whole. So I don't think we need to go back. Do we need to go back and see him again? But yeah, just thought the paint, the way they did the kind of like a snake, the snake belly, and then the back of the snake being a different color. I just thought that works so good. And even they could have done it in one color, but they didn't. They went with the kind of dark blue and the red. Best new part. This is always an interesting one.
My best new part was the pauldrons on Poxus.
Oh, I like them. Yeah,
absolutely love these. It's like, just with the chainmail coming out from underneath them. So you got the flat metal and then the chainmail. They're quite understated, but at the same time, they do look really good. Chainmail.
Yeah, you can see them there. Do they come with any other figures coming up? I think they do.
I think they do with one of the ones coming. Yeah,
one of them. Yeah. Maybe he's got one of the shoulders or something like that. But
maybe the soldier. Sorry.
Yeah, but if I could buy just a pack of those pauldrons, I wouldn't hardly.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely upgrade a few figures with them.
Yeah.
Right, Mal, what do you got?
Probably really offensive because there's so many good parts. That I went with the pointing fingers for the skeleton 2.0 because just so fun, just so silly, and the amount of people were posting, and I included me, posting daft pictures with him pointing.
They're awesome.
Yeah,
I don't know if they're in the picture here.
They're not. They're not.
Because they were a surprise in the pack. But yeah, it's got the finger guns.
Yeah, those are amazing.
Right, I went with the Frankenstein jacket.
Oh yes, very good shout.
Yeah, so we see it here. It's just a great. This is what would make me buy an extra again. Forgot at Legion's Con to get an extra for the jacket. Dumb. But
can I check? Were you really drunk all the way through Legion's Con?
No, it was like, you saw that I ended up. No, I definitely was with it. I think I knew at the back of my head I was going to be over the weight limit for the bag, and that kind of made me do less of the purchasing for stuff where I just wanted like a part or something,
Mm-hmm.
And the jacket has got so many uses. You could definitely do tons of customs if you had a bunch of these jackets, and it's bigger than the Marley jacket, but you could still use it on a 1.0, which people have done.
Looks good.
Yeah. Right. Best accessory, Rich.
So I have done a mal here, and I've picked two.
Right. Shoot.
So the first one is the multi-insect arrow from Poxus.
Yeah.
I just adore that thing. It's so cool. It's I don't know. I can envisage it being like in a live action film sort of thing with all these things coming off. It's absolutely love it. And then the other one is the canopic jars that came with the gods of Egypt. They're such cool little accessories. They've all got their own individually sculpted heads. You could just, they work brilliantly for that. You can do all, little jars in the corner and scene setups, everything. It's just a really nice little touch. And it's something they absolutely did not need to do. But I do love them.
Yeah, that's, where are they? They're not.
They were in the Bastet picture. If you go back.
Yeah. Sorry, here, these guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 3 with Bastet and 1 with Anubis.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great. Mal, what's yours?
Mine is probably a bit of a weird. I did rewrite it multiple times, but I settled on the spell book from the accessory pack that we got with the Poxus Wave. There's just something about it. I really like it. Is it on? Yeah, I think it's with that one, isn't it? Is it? Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of
green
those accessories I really
spellbook.
like, but yeah, there's just something about it. The sculpt and they've even gone to the effort of like that page that's missed out, and yeah, just really cool little accessory.
Awesome. I went with the shield that comes with the golden pride of Leandor.
Oh, we've gone with a reveal one. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I thought that. I do. I don't know. I thought I went through the other stuff and I just thought, no, there's probably those things. I knew you were probably going to go for the Poxus thing, Rich, and I was thinking of stuff with Frankenstein for Figura Obscura. You could definitely go with a bunch of those, even those little see-through glass jars. They're cool. But yes, I just thought, my opinion on these type of shields. I just thought this was a good one to shout out.
Yeah.
Right. And then a fun little one. Least favorite.
We haven't done our favorite 3 Figure Obscuras yet, are they, John? I don't know if we'd skip past that.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay.
Well,
let's go for that.
Yeah. Let's do that first. Then,
okay. Favorite 3 Figure Obscura. Yeah, I did skip that one.
That being there has only been 3 this year.
Yeah. So, there's the retailer ones as well.
Okay, you see, I left the retailer ones out, but okay, if we can include them, this changes what mine looks like.
Right, Rich, you better go first then.
Yeah. So my third favourite is Frankenstein's creature. You boys know, and I said on the podcast when this first revealed, I was like, yep, save money, no problem at all. And then watched Dorclair's review, damn you, Bill. Was absolutely sold on it. It's a really great figure. I'm going to display mine without hair and make it, rather than Frankenstein's creature, I think I'm probably going to make it more of an Egyptian undead creature and then use the Frankenstein stuff for other things. I've got an idea already for the table and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, really good figure. Very glad I got it.
Right, mine is this guy, Retailer Monkey King. As you saw earlier, I have him in hand now. He's even better than I thought he was. That yellow just works. That kind of lighter golden yellow fur just works so good. And the rest of the figure is pretty much the same. Yes, the accents on the armor are different, but the gold is the same. And I think the cloth parts are slightly different color. They're red instead of they're red instead of a creamy brown, weren't they, on the other one? Yeah. So yeah, that's him. What you got, Mal?
So mine moves around if we're doing retailer wave. So my 3 is the Ghost of Christmas Past.
Right. Right.
She's been my favourite from this year that was revealed.
Yeah.
To do with build and the parts and the accessory, not the accessories, the sort of the way, the body that we get with her as much as anything. I think she's really cool.
Cool. Rich, what you got for number 2?
Is Bastet number 2?
Oh, okay, so you singled them out.
I did single them out.
Right. So
no one puts Egyptian gods in the corner, John. You've got to separate them out. Make them look good.
I did as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, so this is a lovely figure. I really like what they've done with the head sculpts. I love the fact you get a few head sculpts as well. That's really important with it. I've talked about the canopic jars already. That's awesome. I like a cat that she comes with. The new feet as well are great. Just an all-round really good figure.
Yeah. She's great. What you got number 2, Mal?
Switched it out to I know I don't have him in hand yet, but the retailer version of Marley I think looks fantastic, and Marley's probably one of my favourite figure obscuras we've had to date. So yeah.
There you go. There's him. Yeah. Yeah, he's great. And you still get the secret, or not so secret anymore, head.
Like different colour, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I didn't compare them now. It looks broadly similar, but maybe the shades are different. I'll update you.
Cool.
Yeah, my number 2 is Frankenstein. He's great. Perfect. What a Figura Obscura should be. Something a bit different. And the bunch of new parts he comes with is a bit crazy. I mean, did you ever think we get this many new parts in a figure,
No, it's fantastic. As a set, it's fantastic.
Right, Rich, so you're going with the other god of...
I am Anubis as the number 1. Yeah. If I could have picked a set of figures to have, it would be Egyptian gods. I love the Egyptian gods. Hopefully we'll get Sobek next. But yeah, again, lots of different heads, a really nice neck piece that you can use for different figures as well. And it, just the different accessories that come with it have also helped me flesh out my Egyptian themed faction as well. So those parts are getting used. And it's got a massive chuff off box to carry stuff in. It's just like, that's great.
Yes, with the big
dog. The technical description there with the jackal on it. Yeah,
jackal. Yeah. All right, Mal, what's your number 1 for Figura?
It's got to become. It becomes Monkey King if we're including the retailers. He is again. He's A and B between him and the Headless Horseman for my favourite figure obscura. I still find myself sitting and looking at the old one. He's at the front of my figure obscura display, and every time I sit and look at it, he draws my eye. When this retailer one was announced, I hope they do the blonde version of Monkey, because you see him blonde a lot, and he looks. All the pictures I'm seeing, blonde.
He's a great looking figure.
Yeah.
My figure obscura shelf's going to have the blonde one, and then I'm going to use the other coloured one into Mythics.
I'm tempted to repaint one and but the arm, keep the blonde sculpt and do the blue and silver armor that you see sometimes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
We'll see, because it's a big job, but we'll see.
Right, my number 1 is the gods of ancient Egypt. So, judging by the way you guys did it, I cheated. But yeah, it's 2 figures, but yeah, it's a great set, and they were the best too. Or they were the best figure obscura this year, in my opinion, for sure. Just even from a customizer standpoint, all the new stuff you got there that's useful. I mean, you got loads with Frankenstein as well, but I think the stuff with the gods of ancient Egypt is even more useful. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Right. Least favorite then? What we got?
Go on, Rich.
I was going to say, I'll go. So I've got a Mythic, a Cosmic, and a Figura Obscura.
Okay.
It's that absolute.
We won't put the pictures up with them then, just to be.
The Mythic one is that absolute disgrace of a figure that is Blue Hagnon.
Okay.
No,
I agree.
Unnecessary, not needed.
Just wrong.
Gave into peer pressure from Cullen. It's like no,
Wrong. You're wrong.
It's a great custom, but yeah, all the guys that do the different color Hagnon customs, that's cool as a custom, but we don't need them as an action official figure. Right, give us your Cosmic then.
My Cosmic, and I've forgotten his name. Just bear with me a second. Let me check the sheet.
Okay.
Is one spreadsheet. Don't let me down. Altar Solovius.
Right.
Okay, that's surprising.
And
great.
not because
So the British flag head.
He was, the sort of, punk UK head. It's just bottom. I don't dislike it as such. It's just the bottom of all the Cosmics in my eyes. It's the one that I could just get rid of and not worry about missing it at all.
Fair enough. And your Figura Obscura then?
Is the Ghost of Christmas Past. I really don't like that figure. Sorry, Eric. Sorry, Jeremy. It just doesn't work for me at all.
You're just wrong.
Yeah, I can agree with you on the Figura Obscura, and Hagnon was my least favorite figure. I got one just to get one, but because he's in the Mythic line. But yeah, I could do without him. Mal,
I've got to say this was an easy one, and it's one, and that's it. The others, I'd struggle to say dislike in any way, shape, or form. I don't dislike this one. It's just so meh. It's the Ogre Builder 2 from the Reinforcements wave. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I've got one.
I can see why you'd say that. Yeah, I mean, I got plans for mine, but if you don't have plans, it's just like, well, it's just
if you're not going to customize it, it's
exactly.
Yeah, probably don't need it. Yeah.
And some of the other Reinforcements waves, I was like, oh, would they all be my lowest? And no, actually, a couple of them are really good figures. Whereas he's fine.
Right. Then we need to put all these into top 10. So let's just go through our top 10s each. So if you want to go first, Mal, go 10 to 1. Sorry. Rich,
no.
you go 10 to 1. Yeah.
I'll go while you think about it. So number 10, Operative 83. Number 9, Tharnog. Number 8, Fisher Ice. Number 7, Bastet. Number 6, Anubis. It's getting exciting now, folks. Number 5, the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. Number 4 is Lige. Number 2 is Poxus. I've actually swapped this around from my other list. And number 1 is the Ninian Infantry.
Oh, wow.
So I've swapped Poxus and Ninian Infantry around in that one because I felt guilty, I think, about having...
How does that make sense, though?
It doesn't, but this is me. You've seen the way I draw. My mind doesn't work properly.
Unbelievable. There you go. That's your brain. Right, Mal, have you got yours together now?
I just had to, so, number 10, Tusk Experiment AA20. Number 9, Calazir. Number 8, Poxus. Number 7, Callian Shun. And then this is where it changed a bit. Number 6, Marley. Retailer Marley. Number 5, Monkey King Retailer. Number 4, Skeleton Legion Builder. Monkey King may come above that. But we number 3, Ninian Infantry. Yeah. If it changes in future, nobody hold me to it. Number 2, Sphexian Minor, and number 1, Fisher Rice.
Nice. Right, my top 10. So it's actually all just the Cosmic and Mythic. I didn't put a figure in here, so controversially. 10 is Tharnog, 9 is Lige, then 8 is Tusk A20, so Cosmic Magnus, 7 is Tusk Pilot, 6 is Fisher Rice, 5 is the Skeleton Legion Builder, number 4 is the Tusk Experiment 20 CC24. So that's the Novian Lean Cosmic one from Legion's Con. Then number 3 is Poxus. Number 2 is Heavy Gunner, and number 1 is the Ninian Infantry, and probably by quite a bit, I think. Which is crazy to think that we didn't even know about this figure before November. Right. So we move on to the reveals. So this is a shorter section. Top 3 Mythic reveals. So what we got? Rich.
Yeah.
Number 3.
I have number 3. I have Windaji the Cackler.
Right. That's
love this guy. Yeah, the what do they call it? A knoll.
Yeah.
So it's it's a fur body. I've been crying out for one of those. It's bound to lead to werewolves and things like that, which gets me very excited. And it's a hyena, and I absolutely love hyena sculpts and that sort of thing. So a really good one for me.
Yeah, there he is there. Windaji the Cackler. I was sure, as soon as I saw this at Legion's Con, he was going to be right up there for you.
Oh yeah, I love him.
What you got in number 3, Matt?
Basilia.
Yeah, I think we might all be from this wave, huh? Or close to it.
Yeah, smashes everything out the water, doesn't it? This wave, to be quite honest, it's such a good wave.
She's great. Yeah. My number 3 probably could be number 1 as well, but it's the dragon.
Right, I left the dragon out of mine.
Yeah,
I did as well. Yeah,
I could also leave it out. So then I'll put in this guy instead, Genom, because dragon comes in another section then.
Yeah,
so he's my number 3 then. He's great. Look at the big fire thing. I love that kind of fire stuff and these kind of fire effects. He's just a mental red dude, and you get the two. You get the legs and you get the fire. I mean, what more do you want?
And when that picture first came up on the screen, I thought we'd be getting a fire snake. I almost passed that off my seat at that point. It was like, oh my god, another snake. And then they cleared it up, and it was like, that's still amazing.
Yeah, it's excellent. Yeah. Right, number 2 for you, Rich,
is Leodicius. Yes. I said countless times in a row to this, I don't want an ogre scale lion. I don't want an ogre scale lion. And then they've given me a figure that I just cannot wait to get my hands on. It's incredible. The armor is so intricate. It's got all the great beasts on it. The hulking size of it really, really works well. I'm an idiot, clearly. Suggesting they should go for brute scale instead. So yeah, I cannot wait to get this guy.
He's brilliant, yeah. Mal, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Windaji the Cackler. I've said before, he would probably be number 1. I'm a little nervous about the new articulation and how it'll look. I'm sure it'll look fun. You know, it'll be the best version of that articulation, no doubt. But yeah, until we see it and get it in hand, it's hard to know for sure. But I think other than that, I think he looks fantastic, doesn't he? He's another creepy sort of little character that I love.
But you love it. Yeah. My number 2 then is Basilia. I mean, my favorite faction is Basilia, so you know she was always going to be up there. But yeah, look at the colors, green and
the colors are amazing.
The feathers and yeah, exactly. Just fantastic. Yeah. And we learned about the snake tail that they shed them when they kind of get older, and then they shed the kind of snake, kind of humanoid legs, and they get a snake tail. So that shows when they're kind of, I would say that they've moved up to middle management and beyond.
I like that.
I have to admit, I want someone to do a custom bottom part where they've got one normal leg and one leg is turning into the snake body.
Of course,
mid-transformation.
Yeah, make it nice and easy for the customizer there.
Oh, of course, yeah, I don't ask for much.
Use a 1.0 body, lie it down on your shelf, and it won't be any different, will it? I didn't say that. I don't mean it.
Number 1s then for the reveals. Aside from the dragon, obviously,
I mean, a 2.0 body, don't I? But anyway, sorry.
Mine is the Serpent Spire Royal Guard. It's a snake man. I could not be happier with this. I love the sort of Aztec armor feel to it. I love the fact it's got a weapon at the end of the tail. That's such a clever little thing to do.
It's exactly what you wanted, isn't it, really?
If you'd asked me what I wanted, it would have been this. Yeah, I can only think that Eric's got my house bugged. So it's really boring stuff, but
yeah.
Look at even the accessories. This club type weapon,
brilliant. Yeah,
that was close to my top accessory. Definitely. The feather. Yeah, the headpiece. Everything.
Everything about it is perfect. It's such an amazing figure.
Yeah, and until we got into the lore about the legs, I would have loved if this figure came with the both options. But I understand now why it can't, because it's the Royal Guard, so it means it's kind of served its time as an infantry, and that's how you kind of graduate to being the Royal Guard. Is you get your snake tail or whatever. So yeah, it makes sense.
What about the ones halfway through though? Do they just sit in the like barracks until they
No, they're just.
Well, you're going to be a guard.
They're just 3-star infantry, whatever corporal infantry. Right, what's your number one, Mal?
Leodicius.
Nice and easy. Mine too.
Yeah. He's just going to be such an impressive figure on the shelf, isn't he? He's going to be bonkers. Absolutely amazing.
I mean, I have 4 cats roaming around here every day at home, so a giant cat action figure lion it's going to tick the box for me, and the rest of the family, to be honest, as well. So, wow, just look at it. Yeah.
It's so good. And just like ogre scale fur parts now and that sort of stuff.
Yes, feet are so cool.
This isn't one I'd be buying a second one for customs. This would just be one I'm buying a second one just to have a second one.
Oh, really? I know.
I don't know, but like if I'm going to get a second one of this, it's because I want a second one of this.
Yeah. Can I make a suggestion, John? If you get a second one, green stuff, a goatee beard, and it could be his own evil twin.
Or just a little dirty Sanchez moustache or whatever.
Or the old what do they call it? The martial arts masters have.
Oh, the really long
Fu Manchu. Yeah.
Fu Manchu, yeah. Right, let's get on to the cosmic reveals then. So it was only one really option here was book 2 Hero's
more
Zone.
cosmic next year.
Yeah. Or you could of course include the Legion's Con figures, and
That's
the
true.
heavy infantry, because they were revealed this year as well. But we got them in hand. So, who have you got from this lot, Mal?
Number 3 is Hylor Kryn. And we talked about him before. Love the colours. Love the the build.
This is an awesome kind of wasteland warrior in sci-fi.
That helmet's really cool as well. Tube coming from
It's amazing what they can do to these Tusk builds with just a new helmet and a couple of tubes and obviously the paint job. And then they give the Novian lean boots to this one. Or the style, they may be slightly different.
I think they are slightly different, but it's
maybe the shoe part of it is the same.
Yes, the same.
Yeah. And you get a blue alien head as well, which is the
Sligo
head.
Great head.
Again, it's the contrast though between that head and the body colours.
Yeah, the blue against the yellow.
And a shield with a painted symbol on it. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think they're going to be one of my favourite factions.
Yeah, for sure. We need to get back into cosmic lore maybe again when maybe the next cosmic wave comes along. We can catch up. Number 3 for you, Rich, on this
is Bungie. I love that cute little fellow. I just want to grab his cheeks and just like, oh no. It's the original skate backwards, which is a really scary thing. You got this cute as fella with his saddle and everything. He just looks cool.
Yeah.
And when we did our predictions review last week, you said as skate back with the saddle. And
I
bet you
didn't bring that up again, John, but you are quite right, yes.
I didn't think that you would imagine it like this, being this cute.
No. And the cute works. I love the original skate back, but I prefer this one. The cute element works.
And the cloth goods bedroll as well.
Yeah. The man can get in. It's just like,
brilliant. He's also my number 3. Or he, she, it, whatever it is. Awesome figure. I agree. Totally. Right. You're number 2, Mal.
Bungie. You might as well stay on.
So stay up.
You let him come off the picture, Mal, and then you say it.
Sorry. I was, for some reason, I wasn't. Everything you've already said, but also actually, and I don't think it's been said enough, it really highlights the thought that Eric, we knew he did anyway, but the thought Eric puts into designing these characters, because actually, and this is where my nerd comes in, and for like animals, the original Skateback was all like aggressive and spiky and was clearly a predator. This guy was heavily armored, little feet that aren't clawed. He's clearly a prey version of a Skateback. So, and so the thought that's gone into it, he's basically like a Triceratops to the original Skatebacks, raptor, say, for example. And he's just incredible. He's going to be so good to have in hand.
Can't wait to get the first Skateback and also him.
Yeah.
Right, Rich, who's your number 2?
Anthopheles.
Nice.
I love this dude.
Buzz Off tribute.
Yeah, it's a Buzz Off tribute. I love Buzz Off. Didn't have him as a kid, but love the idea. David did such a good build with this. And I'm so glad the Horseman just went with that build.
Yeah, he's really cool. My number 2 is Hyler Kryn. So Mal's already covered it pretty much, but for the same reasons, basically. Just love him. The paint job, the soft goods, we could mention as well.
Yeah.
Look at that. Right, number 1s.
For me, it is Anthopheles. I can't even say it. Anthopheles. Everything Rich just said. He's fantastic.
He's my number 1 as well. Yeah, Buzz Off was one of my 2 favorite Motu figures from childhood, along with Mossman, and now we're gonna have Bride Fighters and Anthopheles. Happy days. Yeah,
one amazing one awful one. There we go, John.
Don't call David's custom awful. How dare you? Number 1 then for you, Rich.
Cog. When they revealed him, I've said he's my favorite cosmic character.
I remember now. Yeah.
Love the monkey look, or the simian look. Love the armor color. He's got a tail sticking out of his spacesuit. Makes no sense.
Does, yeah.
Genius.
He's going to be a chunky boy.
He's going to be a chunky boy. And the fact that you've got the goggles option on or off as well, that's a really nice little touch. The accessories that comes with it, just
cool. Right. Biggest surprise of 2023 then?
Shall I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's probably easy to say the dragon, but I think everyone sort of half expected it. So I have gone with the 3.0 body.
Okay,
being
cool.
my biggest surprise, because it's not something I ever expected that they would do in terms of that added articulation point. I know they've clearly been working towards more articulation and that, but we're now getting articulation that is essentially what we get with a lot of other lines. So that's my biggest surprise.
Cool. Rich, what you got?
My biggest surprise was an Indian infantry. I thought we might get...
we saw that in person.
Hoped we might get a snake man or a lizard man sort of thing, and then we got it, and then to actually get a figure in hand the next day was incredible.
Awesome.
It made my call, I think it's fair to say that.
Yeah, for sure. Mine is then the miniature game. I can't wait for that. I think that's a great reveal. All these things that they announced at G-Con, were awesome surprises in a way. For the same reasons about the dragon, Mal. Maybe it wasn't as big a surprise. The specifics about the dragon and the size of that's all, of course, an awesome surprise. But the fact that they were going to do a dragon was pretty well telegraphed. I'll give a little special mention as well. I'll do Mal here with the Cosmic Comic and in your honor as well.
Yes, that's a good shout.
I didn't think they were going to. I mean, this Ashcan thing we got is awesome, and that's kind of cool, and that could have been a one-off thing in itself. But the fact that that's leading into an actual comic, which may indeed become a bit of a mini series or whatever, there might be 3 or 6 editions soon. Who knows? Like a story arc.
There could be more than that. Based on
exactly. But to start off with, I suppose.
I hope when it happens regularly as well. I hope it's not like every 6 months. I hope it's every month, every couple of months.
They do a like they do with the we said these, the regular runs or the Star Wars stories where they do a batch of 6 that makes up then a trade paperback at the end.
Yeah, and you might wait a little bit for the next one, but it's coming.
Exactly. Deadly. Right. So, and then the favorite overall reveal. So this is where I'm going to slot in the dragon. I'm going to get right in there first. So I think the favorite overall reveal, probably the dragon, even though I have banged on long enough about wanting a bunch of smaller dragons. When you actually see the big one and you see everyone's reaction, I think it was the right choice. So that's mine. You guys?
Mine was the Golden Pride of Leandor.
Oh, right.
Just because it means we've got Roman stuff in the line.
Okay.
You know me, I love my historical stuff. So, the Bastet and Anubis gave me the Egyptian stuff that I wanted, and now we've got Roman stuff, and they've already said they're going to do different color schemes and different characters like that and that sort of thing. So, that's as much as the Snake Man really thrilled me. The fact that we've got the Roman stuff coming as well was most exciting.
Brilliant.
I'd have to go dragon if we're going with the dragon. Dragon aside, Laodicius, I think, because for the things
I didn't expect him at all, to be honest, and especially not like that.
Not like that. Not that impressive. I don't know what I expected really when you go, well, what did you expect? Just not that impressive.
Cool.
But the dragon.
Love it. Right, let's move on to then we've got after this. So we went through these. Is third-party sculpt. Right. Rich, you got a bunch of them. So
I do.
Shall you go through these first? Right. Tell us.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds.
Describe them a little bit.
Share my screen so that I can actually see who sculpted these things.
Yeah.
So the first one is a squid head. So an anthropomorphic squid head. It's available at Toy Forge. It is called the Cosmic Calamari, which is a great name. I think Anthony might have a hat as well that you can get to put on as well to give it more of a pirate.
Oh, you know what? I think I got this. I have this.
Yeah.
Because I remember that hat. Yeah.
It was sculpted by I think John. I've lost my sheet. By Tiago Conti, who does stuff for Anthony and stuff for other people. Very good sculptor. And there's just tons of tentacles, and he's got a real sort of pouty fish face, which I really like as well.
Okay, cool. Next one.
Jason Rodriguez sculptor, available at lots of different places. This is called the Laughing Demon. I think it was listed as one on one of the sites.
Yeah.
It's got like a eyeless helmet, so a bit like a xenomorph sort of look to it, but then just a huge, big, smiley teeth and horns, which is quite frankly terrifying. Then we have the Butcher mask from Von Burke Studios. This Brian Burke sculpt, so it's a helmet to put over the top of a skeleton, and this one's got skin stretched across it, like someone's face has been peeled off and then pinned on it. And I've got a painted one I got from Brian. It's really creepy.
Was this a Von Box one?
No, this is just a normal one. I picked up a painted one from Brian at Legion's Con.
Yeah,
Cool.
you can get them on his site. There's a few variations.
Right, this one. Motorway.
Yeah, so this one is it's not a Moe one. This one is it's a cracking studio.
Yes.
So this is a guy that's working with Mark Calvo, and they're for sale on Mark's site. And it's a lizard-esque alien with a really cool big pointy head. And I'm an absolute sucker for like eye scanners and that sort of thing on cosmic sculpts. I would have one already, but I can't decide what color I want it painted. I think we've had this conversation already. When we were talking with Mark, in fact, I'll get it from Mark and I'll get it painted at some point when I can finally decide on the color. But I absolutely love the sculpt.
Right, next one is this crazy kind of scarecrow type.
This one's called the Shadow Husk, which is basically a vampire scarecrow, which makes no sense. But it's Dwarf Lord Toy Designs head. Again, sculpted by Tiago, so the same guy that did the Cosmic Squid. I love my vampires. This is bonkers because it's a scarecrow that's a vampire. The storyline on their website that goes with it is really cool as well. And I managed to pick and painted one of these up at Legion's Con, so very happy with this. Another one I picked up at Legion's Con. This is a Black Forge Studios sculpt. It's a vampire with the cheeks or lower jaw are opening out a little bit like the sort of Blade 2 vampires, I guess, but with absolutely massive ears as well. And I got painted one from Dirk Designs at Legion's Con, and it's available from various 3D makers.
Another squid.
Another squid. I've got a thing going on for squids, haven't I? So this is a squid head, basically, that the right hand side as we're looking at it is robot. So there's the tentacles are cybernetic tentacles, and there's an exposed sort of metal skull and that sort of thing. And then the left hand side as we're looking at it is flesh. So the normal suckers, the normal skin tone and that sort of thing. So it's like half revealed and half not. And I love the idea of half revealed and half not. That's really cool. It's a space squid. I mean, I've got loads of these guys now. To the point when I bought that exact sculpt at Legion's Con, K-In, who I bought it from, was like, "Have you got a thing for squids?" I was like, "Apparently I have, yeah," because I was buying like 40 of him.
This guy here, then?
This is a Jason Rodriguez sculpt. I was hoping someone would have a painted one of these at Legion's Con, but if they did, it went before I saw it. It's basically a bat, an evil-looking bat, again in the sort of Mesoamerican style look to it.
Looks like a Mesoamerican Varg, to be honest.
There's a little bit. I'm going to use it as a vampire, definitely.
Yeah.
And then the last one, this is Mow Away. So he's got another title that he uses as well, I think, for his Patreon stuff. But he's burst on the scene with some really cool sculpts. There's a really good Rhino one, a really cool Minotaur one. But this is my favorite. This is a hyena. So going back to what I was saying earlier about hyenas and how much I love them. So this is a really, angry, nasty-looking hyena. It's got a fur neck piece that comes with it. It's got a ring through his nose, and he's licking his lips. And I really like the licking the lips aspect to it. It's just like, yeah, I am going to eat you. Any minute, I'm going to eat you.
Right, Mal, you have a thing for goggles here.
Yeah, well, I have to. Rich just has reminded me of someone I completely forgot about. So a special shout out to Von Berg sculpts I completely forgot about that should be in here. The rack tears that he did for Legion's Con, I love them. The minute he revealed them, I had to get them. So I was like right over to his table to pick them up. So I can't believe I forgot to put them in here. Hang on a minute, I need to cough.
So they were the kind of clowns / kind of Mickey Mouse type looking ones?
skeletal Mickey Mouse or others, they're punk, punk rock
that kind of style. Yeah.
But anyway, so going to the top 3 that I sent you, it's another.
So see here, Mal did 3, Rich.
In my defense, I am the 3D parts guy, aren't I? So I can go for 3 times the original quantity.
We can do an episode if you want to go through 40 different sculpts that you like. We can do an episode when
we've done a couple of those already, but
I might be busy.
To go for it. Yeah. Washing your hair, Mal?
Anything but.
He's armpit hair.
You know. So we got. This is a sculpt that has caught my attention in the last few weeks. It's been shown off, and it looks like Mark Calvo is selling them on his site. I'm sure some other people are selling them as well. This is another Malway one called Dex Iron Stride, and there's multiple versions with the mustache, with beard, without, with the goggles, with goggles on his head, but I love this one with the goggles and the big bushy mustache. And as you say, I seem to have a thing for goggles. I think it's the steampunk vibe it gives off.
Yeah.
And as I said in our chat, maybe I actually, although it could get very expensive with where the parts exist at the moment.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to make a few steampunk characters, start a little steampunk.
Yeah.
No, I'd like to see that, man. That'd be good.
That would be cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a lot of Marlies to buy, isn't it, at this point?
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, so that's
right.
that one.
Wolfie from Wolf King?
Yeah, the basic one, because he does a couple versions, doesn't he? But I love...
He does 3, yeah.
Yeah, I love this one, the one without the crown, just the standard Wolfie. I love it's the expression, the sculpt, the expression. This one is Wolfie the best boy. This one was, I think, in the description.
I got one of these off Len.
I'm going to use it for Cosmic.
Why not?
Somewhere. Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, because he's an anthropomorphic wolf. Why not?
Yeah.
I would have had a Wolfie in my top 10, as it were, originally. But you had this one, so I'd have had the Egyptian one.
Yeah.
So Wolfie Carmoon, I think, or something like that it is. So yeah, I'd bought that off Len. So yeah.
And he was one of the ones in my consideration for my top 3, and I was glad when I saw him in yours. So
just so much character in that sculpt. And it's a brilliant idea by Len in terms of the branding, Wolf King, and doing that. It's fantastic. And
another goggle man.
Don't own, but I intend to own it as soon as I can. And I did want to buy it at Legions Con, but then I completely forgot about. Well, I missed Dirk's table multiple times until I spoke to Rich when he came back with stuff and was like, "Oh, he's over there." And then I couldn't see any of the head sculpts I wanted on there, so they must have sold.
Oh, no.
And not surprising.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing this one. I have to admit. I think this might be maybe post Legions Con or whatever.
Yeah, this is Dirk's. Well, this was before Legions Con because I clocked it, but I think if he had them, they sold out. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, Dirk's designs, Algernon Lodestone, and I like both of them. He does this one, which has got what looks like it could be some sort of iron helmet with these goggles, these hexagonal goggles. Is it hex? No, it's whatever that is. Six. What's 6? No, hexagonal. Yeah, 6 is hex, isn't it? Or is that 8?
That's 8, I think. No, 8 is octagonal.
No, 6 is hex. Yeah.
So he's got hexagonal goggles. Sorry about that. And then he does another. Yeah, he does another version of this without the helmet on, and I think the goggles aren't on him, and with big hair, and I like that one as well. So yeah.
But this one got goggles, so better, man.
Yeah, well, I'll get both. I want to get both so I can create a character that could be.
Well, let me know when you do your order, because I said there's a few pieces that I want to get from them as well. So I can combine that.
Well, another special mention that I only discovered the other day is the gingerbread fiend or ginger. That was so cool. I need to get that. So.
Right, moving on. Here's mine. So the frog, the toad, with the kind of back bedroll from Borderland Horde.
Cool.
I think sculpted by Gianluca. I think.
Did you pick this up at Legions?
Yes, I did. I got one of these. I missed out on the meerkats, even though they're right across from us. But I was like, I'll go to them later. I have time. But forgot that they could sell out of their cool stuff.
I completely forgot to go and actually, I went and spoke to Anthony, but completely forgot to go and actually buy anything off Anthony.
He's probably why didn't Mal buy something off me?
I mean, I had a list of stuff and still forgot half of mine. It's so easy to do when you're there and everything's happening.
So this is just a fun, it's non-articulated frog, but can't wait to paint mine up. And this is one I'll be keeping for myself and putting them on a shelf somewhere. Find a spot for him. So this I'll also have fun deciding what way to go to paint him, whether I just go traditional toad or cosmic toad or some sort of Poxus type toad or, Fury Clan toad. I don't know. There's loads of options.
We've got a couple of bedrolls, so you could be friends with Bungie.
Oh, that's an idea. Bungie's mate. The toad. Oh, stop it.
He would fit that really well, actually. Yeah.
Right. Moving on, Mark Calvo, very recent one. He did the snake neck adapter. So if you want to make your Ninian infantry two-headed, so he actually painted up because Mark is a great painter as well. So he can show his sculpts off painted, which is great, which is what you see here. So he also does this neck piece as well, which actually works really well with the Ninian infantry. This like little kind of, I suppose, a choker, I guess you'd call it, almost collar. And there's a little gap in the head there, which is why you get the beads, the Monkey King beads with them anyway. And I think this also does a good job of covering it up. So even I'd even include that if you're going to get the double neck. That would really, that's what I did anyway. I ordered a couple of these off him, and also the little choker thing. So bravo, Mark, right on the ball there. What's it now? We're into December, and Ninian infantry is only out for 6 weeks. We're already getting parts like these.
I nearly put the single extended neck into mine.
And Rich had this in his list as well. Let's not double up. So that's why it's here. So Rich you can definitely say that you had some feedback on this or input on this when Mark was designing it, did you?
Yeah, Mark messaged me saying, I want to do some Snake Man parts. What would you be looking for with Snake Mans or Snake Men? And I was like, well, a two-headed one absolutely would be something I want, big long neck. I was like, maybe some different weapons for the tail ends and that sort of stuff. So, yeah. So I had a bit of input.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of consultation.
Consultation, yes.
Advising a mate.
Yeah.
Who's very talented.
And then letting the person with the talent go ahead and do it all. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, Rich, what can I sell you?
Yeah.
It's worked. I'd be getting a painted one of the two-headed one and the single one. So, yeah, it's definitely worked.
Yeah.
Perfect market research. And my last one was the Brian C. Crab head.
Yeah. It's up there. Yeah.
When I went to get this picture, because I've seen there's loads of painted ones, but I wanted to see if he had a picture of the unpainted one just so I could show my parts like this. I saw in the text of when he posted it that he basically did this in one night, which is just ridiculous. He said, one of my kids couldn't sleep or I couldn't sleep. And I just got up and did this instead. So, crazy man.
I think he does a lot of his stuff like that. It's an incredible speed that he can produce these things.
So that's that. You bought customs. You both bought customs with this. I bought this with the claws as well.
I kind of wish I'd bought a non-painted one as well, because it looks like such a fun. Yeah.
Well, and also it's just really well designed in that you can put the forearms in as well, and it's a really nice piece. Yeah, can only highly recommend it. Right, let's move on to customs. And back to you, Rich.
Yeah, so this is...
I've seen this one before on an episode here.
Yes. So this is a Day of the Dead Medusa that Blaze Bear did. Incredible paintwork. The black, spray painted the black, body black, obviously, then done all the bone work. The face paint's amazing. The purple snakes work really well. I think this sold very quickly at Legion's Con. But just
there was a little part of me like, if he's got it, I might be tempted. And by the time I got to his table, it was already sold. It was one of the ones that sold. So.
Yeah,
really fabulous figure there.
Yeah, it's great. Really good. This one then, who's that?
So this one is by Mark Humphrey. He's put a few cool customs up. I don't know him.
Is he based in UK?
I don't know, actually.
Okay. Anyway.
Maybe. But yeah, it's a dragon warrior. So you've got lots of Monkey King parts, but then there's some feet I'm not sure if they're
Gargoyles.
designed for Mythic Legions or whether they come from.
I think they're from the Gargoyles figures.
They're from the Gargoyles, are they? Yeah, painted blue again. Then you've got dragon head with a metal jaw. John, you painted one of these for me, for a cosmic custom, and then the blue demon wings on the back, and it just
that is very cool.
I love my dragon men anyway, and the combination of colours and parts. You know, the armour's all goldish, and then you just got the blue skin tones. They work brilliantly together.
Yeah, it's great. According to Facebook, Mark lives in Milton Keynes. So there you go.
Okay.
It's not that
So he's in the UK, and it is the right mark because he's got mutual friends of all the people in the cabal.
Yeah.
So
he lives in the concrete jungle. Is Milton Keynes?
Yeah, roundabout central.
dreams aren't made.
Yeah.
Well, that's what that inspires people to be creative instead, which is great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Next one.
This one is amazing. It's from Andy Spinks.
It's a fun
I've got a lot of Andy's stuff. His work's always really good, and he's done a cosmic minion. It's all the different cosmic parts painted up. I'm not sure where the head sculpt's from, but again, it's painted yellow like the
Isn't it Von Box?
Yeah.
Oh, is it one of the Von Bucks ones? Okay. Yeah.
Brian Burke.
And then he's used the I think it's can of beans sort of
Can of beans,
clear weapon.
I really want some of this stuff, but it's so expensive to ship to us. It's nuts. You have to.
Well, that was on my list again for Legions Con. I think they might have been there.
Oh, really?
But forgot it.
Right.
I think maybe somebody was selling some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't see that. I don't know.
But yeah, I absolutely love this figure. It's a minion. Who doesn't want a cosmic minion?
It's really cool, yeah. Right, this guy you took home.
Yeah. So this was the favourite thing I bought there. This is my Hippo Dwarf Centaur, and he's mine. And it just, I think Mal, you said when I was talking about it, it goes back to like Chaos Dwarfs from Warhammer sort of thing.
Yeah.
Very much that sort of look to it. It was done by Isra. He does just all sorts of bonkers customs. Like he did a dragon centaur as well, and he did that giant troll figure with dwarf heavy gunners on them and that sort of stuff. So it's a hippo back end to the thing, and then a dwarf upper end, and I love it. It's my baby.
It is your baby.
Yeah.
But there was a better custom apparently this year.
There was. This is one of my favorite customs I've ever seen. Full stop. It's by Eric Miller, and it's a gentleman soldier crab dude. So it's got a Von Box crab head. I think there are a couple of Sphexian even hands, and then it's the Marley body painted in purples and this sort of thing. It's a beautiful figure. I mean, there's lots of great customs, but this is a proper work of art, like a lot of Eric's stuff is.
The headless horseman scarf as well. Nice in touch there. Yeah,
it's just, I love it. It's, me and fish people anyway, so it's a crab, and then it's got the cool stuff that goes with it. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, this is when I go and see like an amazing rock band playing, and then I'm not picking my guitar up for weeks because I just can't. I can't match what I've seen, or even it's like I'm embarrassed. This is basically the equivalent of that, whatever that is. Yeah, cool. Over to you, Val.
That one, otherwise I think it would have made it into mine. As it is, number 3, Mr. Emil Wickman, his Moon Knight tribute. I love what Emil does, but I tend to put it into a separate category mostly because of that tribute aspect. And sometimes for me, I would find it hard to fit it into my collection and felt like it belonged in that collection, if you get what I mean. Whereas this, I think you could put this in with your Mythic Legions and it would just feel like a really cool sort of Mythic assassin or something like that. And I love this. The paint app, the weathering,
it could be
parts.
It could be the Order of Aetheron's kind of guy who does the stuff in the shadows, or their kind of enforcer.
Anything like that. So, he'd fit in any faction, I think, pretty much. He'd be really cool. So, That's
yeah. I mean, and to paint white that well is not easy.
Yeah.
So
well,
bravo.
and as I say, then the weathering and the shading is done to give it that sand and dirty, sandy, dusty look is so good. So good.
Cool. Number 2.
This is the Jack Sparrow pirate monkey that Matt Stein made for George Gaspar, and what I think really, put Matt really out there, didn't it, when this was shown off, and it was incredible. And he did 3 monkeys, but this was definitely, this was the best. And if there was ever a chance of owning this, I'd have potentially tried to own this. I did inquire about one of his others, but Mr. Housesealer bought it and was willing to do a deal with me on it, but I felt guilty since he'd already,
It wasn't meant to be then, was it?
Yeah, that's how it felt. It was like someone else had already got it. But yeah, I love these monkey pirates he does, and this was, for me, the very best one. And then first, a bit self-serving, maybe.
No.
I own this custom.
No, not at all.
And I think it's, and the reason I own it is because when I was shown it and saw it, I was like, I don't want to miss this. And it is, I'm calling him Jockanor. And he is the dwarf custom from, Cosmic Dwarf custom from Noah Pratt. And he is going to be my partner character to go with the Arnold, which is basically my little Terminator T-800 tribute skeleton. So that's why I've called him Jocko.
There's a team. Yeah. And it also uses that head that he designed, the dwarf
which is
head.
Such a fantastic head. That again is a head that could have
painted
made it
like
into my
that.
best sculpts this year. It was, and the other one he did as well, the other dwarf.
It's true.
Both of them, top sculpts. So that's my top 3 favorite customs for this year.
We can continue on the Noah love-in for a little bit. The other cosmic, Noah with these customs and a few other people as well, but we'll single out Noah here because we're talking about his customs. He makes me want to just do these type of customs, tons of them.
That's exactly it. Exactly it.
I just want to get loads more builders, with third-party dwarf parts
dwarf heads. I'm exactly
bit of get green stuff on the dwarf legs to make a bit of variety on them, and maybe get those cosmic dwarf legs eventually. But yeah, this is another cosmic dwarf that Noah did with the Sebadom kind of exclusive head that he has basically been adding to orders over the period as the shop is winding down over the last year. And you can't buy this head, so it's only one that you get as a freebie. I've done an order with Planetary Dog that I'm waiting to get in the next couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that I get this head in there. That would be amazing. It's a brilliant custom, and he's done the OSL, the object source lighting, and the weathering, and everything. This figure goes straight in with the Ox Crew book 2 figures.
I know that Ryan Gonzalez bought this one, and I've got to say, if he hadn't done, I might have gone back.
Yeah, he might be going on with 2.
Yeah.
Right. Next one, Curtis's Parademon that he did with our Cosmic Head. Incredible. This was like, oh crap, never going to be able to use that head any better. But also, wow, it's amazing. He obviously had a plan for this custom. He did brilliantly with the are they shield parts for the wings at the back. So creative. I love the gold and green color scheme as well here, and the kind of purple on the head as well. Everything perfect. This is a 10 out of 10 custom.
This was in my short list.
Yeah, mine as well.
Yeah, absolutely superb. And number 1, I own this one. So again, like you, Mal, this was a gift from Eugene Unique at LegionsCon, Dr. Grimm Customs. So he did a dwarf with our leprechaun head. So dwarf leprechaun. So I took a little photo today and I put a little background of a pub on it as well, just to make it kind of fit in. So he did the basically red kind of color scheme with the Marley jacket, and got me a pint of beer and everything. And there's a cool little kind of staff weapon with this as well. So I love this custom, and very happy to and proud to own it. So
it's a great one.
It's a great one.
Before we move on to the next category, John, can I first publicly apologise to Mark Humphrey? When you said he was British, I've suddenly gone through my phone and I bought some figures off Mark earlier this year. So sorry, Mark, I do recognise your name. I do know you're British.
Mark, it's not it's anything to do with you. It's just he buys so much stuff off so many people that it's very hard to keep track. He only knows us because he does podcast with us. Right. On to your toy photography, Rich.
Yeah. So this first one is by Cesar A. Hernandez Rodriguez. And it is the Frankenstein's creature. It's a black and white shot. So he's sort of strapped in the chair. You've got a skeleton builder behind him on the table that's raised up. And then you got Dr. Frankenstein. I'm not sure which figure he used in the foreground working on it. And the lighting that comes through is really good. I love the fact it's black and white. It just gives it that extra thing to it. So, yeah.
It's a joke how good these toy photographers are.
It's amazing.
I don't even know this gentleman, and he's putting photographs out like that. That's how many good photographers there are, Yeah. It's a very competitive scene. The next one is by our friend Nate Strong, and it's half giant ripping the head off a goblin, and it uses head sculpt by Wolfgang Customs. It is Wolfgang Customs. Yeah, it is, yeah. I think it's probably painted by Stephen Bisciotti. Probably
could well be. Yes,
Stephen designed, I think. Or is it?
Yeah. I love it because it's just such a brutal photograph with the blood pouring out of the goblin's neck and that sort of thing. But then all nicely lit from behind, and nice forest scene, and then there's just this gruesome violence at the front.
Superb. Nate is great.
This is a fantastic picture.
This one is Trevor Williams, so 1/6 shooter. Obviously, all Trevor stuff is amazing, but this is like a dwarf adventuring party. So there's 3 of them, and they're going down the steps. In the dark, we're just lit by torches, and then behind them out of the darkness comes this just massive red hand about to grab the dwarf at the back. It's there's so many things to look at here. Each of the dwarfs are painted really well. It's the lighting from the torch sort of feel to it, and then your eye just gets drawn to this hand. I mean, I don't think you even see it initially. It's just a fabulous photograph.
Yeah, this one made my shortlist. I'll admit I ended up not including it because I was like, oh, Trevor being official, I was like, oh, I'm not going to just, he gets a separate category somewhere one day.
Yeah, I could have done 1 to 3 Trevor for sure, and been able to stand over it, but Trevor gets enough love, so. Right. Fuzzmonk Kevin?
Yes. So this is by Brian Lynn. So Carvar Customs, famous for the torches, etc.
Stay in your lane, Brian. Come on.
And it's Thistlethorn and a custom Fuzzmonk. Fist bump.
The background.
Yeah, fist bumping as they walk away, having just killed a troll who's lying down dead in the background, and you can see the troll's back.
Yeah,
and there's just a little bit of mist as if there's been some sort of some sort of fire involved. But I just love the fact it's just a fist bump. It's like and they just look so cool about it. The 2 of them, it's like, we did that. I love this one.
Yeah, there's a lot of personality in that.
And then this one is by a gentleman called Chuck Eiler. And I think 3 or 4 of his photographs on my list, and he was the one I bumped one out because I didn't want 2 from the one person. His work's superb. This is Apharius fighting a squid, obviously, or maybe an octopus that's coming out of a pond. It looks quite a barren scene. Like the trees are stripped of leaves. The pond's got like a smoke effect over it, and then this squid's coming out trying to get Apharius, and it's just a beautiful photograph. The lighting works. Yeah, everything. It's just beautiful, beautiful photograph.
Right, Mal. Follow those. Dean Wright.
I think, well, is that okay? Geek Turtle is how I know him. Is it Dean Wright?
It's Dean Wright,
So it's interesting because I was thinking as looking at Rich's, and then what I've picked, I think I've actually gone with stuff that to me has got quite a cinematic feel to it, and this could be a shot
Dean
from a
is
movie.
very cinematic.
It's The Dark Templar and Horse in the Snow was the title of it, and that's what it's a Dark Templar all hunched over, guiding his horse, which is also quite hunched, with this snow effect raining down as these werewolves gather in the background of this evil-looking forest, and it's just so atmospheric. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and it's got the salad head sculpt from Valiant Night,
which,
I guess.
as you know, is my favourite night, which possibly played a part in that as well. Not deliberately, but yeah. And I think it's a Max Bird set it's wearing as well, which is a really cool set.
Yeah, I think you're right, and that is a great set.
Yeah, but so, and then another one from our buddy Coronaphore H Strong. Again, so cinematic. When I saw this, when he first posted it, I was like, "Wow, that's awesome." It uses the Granomir. He called this one Mythic adjacent, and it uses the Granomir Motu Classics figure, which I actually love, and if I ever saw one for cheap enough, I might actually pick him up. And then in front of him is I think it's a Valiant Knight with maybe a custom head and some parts. Stood in front of him with a torch, and again, it's got that cinematic. It's got a smoke. It's as if he's in a cave and he's running to Granomir, and there's a bit of a smoky effect with, and it's just again cinematic.
And I guess that's a Brian Lynn torch as well. Carver custom.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. And then
finally,
number one, the first one, Cosmic, and all I can say again, cinematic. And when I look at this picture, I can hear it.
Yeah,
I get like this like.
So who's this by?
So this is Welcome to Havalkatar by Aaron Anderson. Great name. And I get like, you can imagine someone's been brought to possibly Oleg Thygar has been dragged into Havalkatar, and the lift's coming down with Sligor on it, and these Phyrexian guards guarding the entrance, and just this crescendo of music of like, oh my God, what is he seeing? And I love it.
This was on my shortlist, Mal. It's an incredible photograph.
Yeah.
Right. I've got 3 as well. And the first one is another Nate Strong Coronaphore.
This was on my shortlist as well.
Yeah, I got this one as well.
So again, quite cinematic, I'd say, Mal.
Yes.
So this is the Magnus build with the Sebadom lion head sculpt. I think this one's painted by Curtis. And you got Faustia and Hadriana kind of blurred in the background. Kind of like, going, oh God, what did we say? Or, what's going to happen now? And the lion dude is just walking off like, oh my God. He's obviously told them something, or he's going off to tell somebody something. I don't know, but it's not good.
Yeah, he's off to kill somebody. Look at his face.
Yeah, he's looking kind of down where he's he's mad, and there's so much movement in his pose. It's amazing how well it works. So
and emotion and you feel like you can tell what Faustia and Hadriana are saying or have said, don't you? It's they've clearly sent him off to do something, or
and then Thomas Bellet, Tarnog. This is why Tarnog is such a good figure, because this is a relatively straightforward pose kind of photo with just Tarnog stuff in a kind of a scene, in a forest scene, with his kind of orb thing glowing, and the light is kind of hitting off his face. And yeah, it's just really nice photo. Really like it. One of my favorite figures, and yeah, that's what you like to see. And Thomas has a load of great photos, so it was difficult to pick one, but this, I think the Tarnog aspect for me just clinched it for this one. And then number one for me was Kevin Boots. So this is Skeleton Legion Builder. And what I love about this is using the scenery around you. So this is the name was on the thing, but it's a waterfall that's quite near to, or it's close by to where he lives or in his area. And he's got Skeleton Legion Builder 2 sitting on a rock, and everything, the force perspective makes it seem like it's in scale, you know? And
he does he does that so well.
Yeah.
He does that fantastic.
I haven't seen this one before. This is an amazing shot.
Yeah. And it's just that, like, he's using the natural light, he's using his surroundings, he's using everything. You know, he's out for a hike with his figures, you know, taking a few pictures, and it's just perfect, you know. Whereas, you know, some of the other photographs are also amazing, but there's been so much kind of stuff that's had to go into them.
Yeah.
And of course there's effort in this, and, you know, obviously you have to go to this place and you have to set it up and you have to get the first perspective, but he's using what's there. Whereas other photographs, and maybe people have to do a bit of Photoshop and a bit of, you know, editing. This is pretty much out of the camera, and I'd say, and it's perfect. It's awesome.
Well, it's yet another type of creativity in the eye to go, oh,
yeah,
that'd look cool there. And if I shoot this, and yeah, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Right. So we're through all of our stuff. So we only have to round us out. We'll try and get through these relatively quickly. Although we leave you with a bumper episode for this year, but still, you know, let's get through the listener feedbacks, and let's have one more. We'll find out what Jordan's other stinger is now.
Hello, Governor. This is Wholesome Warlock, and you're listening to the Euro Legions podcast, isn't it?
It's more like it.
That's what I was expecting. Yeah, there we go.
That is way more like it, right? So let's.
John, shall I go first?
Yeah, you're keen.
My first one is Jordan. So this seems appropriate for me to go now.
Right, so you go through all of yours.
So his top 3 received figures were the Armory Experience Purple Valiant Knight with a Gorgo helm. I can't believe I forgot the Armory Experience stuff. Never mind. Number 2 is Arizak. Number 3 is Arakagor. And then his top 3 reveals were Windaji the Cackler, number 1, Malignancy of Gob Hollow, number 2, and Leodicius, number 3. Then we have Mr. Iz Ramirez, the Ninian Snake Warrior, Monkey King, and
what is, sorry, just to not to slag is in particular, but lots of people didn't get Ninian Infantry's name right. It's not that hard, guys. Come on. I got Ninian Soldier, I got Ninian whatever is.
Yeah, Ninian Snake Warrior is what we have here. Yeah. So we had Ninian Snake Warrior, then Monkey King, and then Frankenstein as his favorite 3 received. And then the reveals, it's the Snake Royal Guard, or the Serpent Spire Royal Guard is Basilia and Leodicius. Then we have Patrick Boyle. His top 3 received the Skeleton Legion Builder 2, the Undead of Vikenfell, and the Tusk Heavy Gunner. Then his top 3 reveals are Basilia, Zoo, or how you pronounce that, Shui, and Hylor Kryn. Some good suggestions there, Patrick. Then we have Eric Munoz, who just went Arakagor. So I'm presuming that's his favorite in-hand figure. That's all he wrote. We have Heinrich Hoffman, 4 Horseman Knights Armory Experience. He was able to create his own figure, and he bought 8 of them at Legions Con. I'm very jealous, Heinrich. I bought 7, and I should have bought more. But there we go.
Yeah, we didn't mention the Armory figures, and they were. I
asked you guys about it, and I
did consider them, but it's because I made such a balls of my bills that I didn't mention them.
I put them as a special mention, and what I actually was going to say is the reason I didn't include them is because everyone's build was so different, and what's my favourite of what I've got is probably different to someone else's build potentially. So it's a tricky one but yeah,
we got them next year as well to consider. So there you go.
Cosmic, hopefully.
Heinrich's number 2 in hand is Skeleton Legion Builder 2. This is a fun figure. Everyone wants more, and 4 Horsemen listened and responded. That they did, Heinrich. And then number 3 is the Anubis and Bastet set. Apparently he loves Egyptian mythology, and this set was phenomenal. Wow. He has 6 sets and has customized 4 so far.
Oh, wow.
That's a man after my own heart. Good job, sir. Then we have Justin Anderson. The top 3 received Arakagor, the Gods of Egypt set, and Kalazir. And then the top 3 reveals, he's not including the dragon. Otherwise, the dragon would be 1, 2, and 3, according to him. I like that. It is a big fella. The reveals are Leodicius, Stavros the Unwavering, who I completely forgot about when I was doing this.
Oh, yeah.
And Basilia.
Good shout.
Kirby Smith received was Novian Lean, the Tusk Pilot, and the Armory Experience Knight. And revealed was the Malignancy of Gob Hollow, obviously. Number 2 was the Malignancy of Gob Hollow. And number 3 was Agcha. Tonya McCoy, top 3 received were the Ghost of Christmas Past 2. Ghost of Christmas Past, sorry. You're wrong on that, Tonya. Bastet, and then the Skeleton Legion Builder 2. And the top 3 reveals were Beathir, Leodicius, and Stavros. Eugene, Dr. Grimm Customs, top 10 figures in hand. Well done, Eugene.
But some of these are Patreons, and I asked them for their top 10. So
he said he's got Ninian infantry. He spelt Ninian wrong though, so it's like a half mark there, Eugene. It was a number 1.
Come on!
I apologise for.
Number 2, Skeleton Legion Builder, and number 3, the Ghost of Christmas Past. Again, you're wrong, Eugene. Number 4, Poxus. Number 5, the Tusk Pilot. Number 6, the Vikenfell Skeleton. Number 7, Fisher Rice. Number 8, Frankenstein's Creature. Number 9, the Gods of Egypt. And number 10, the Templar Relic Guard, which is a great figure that almost made my list. And the top 3 reveals are the Dragon, Leodicius, and Basilia. The biggest surprise for Eugene was the doubly incorrectly spelt Ninian with 2 N's guard. It's infantry, Eugene. You've already told us that. And I've turned it to ears, haven't I? Sorry. And the least favorite figure is
Eugene's one of my favorite people.
Eugene's amazing. He knows I'm only teasing.
Yeah.
And the least favorite figure is Altar Solovius. Don't hate him, just the one I've messed the least compared to the others. So exactly the same reasoning as me. Well done, Eugene. Yeah. Then we have Archer Hawk, one of our listeners in France. Top 10 is the Undead of Vikenfell, Mythic Waltor, because he got it in 2024 rather than 2023, so he sneaked that in. That's absolutely fine, Archer. Skeleton Legion Builder 2, Kalazir, 5 and 6 were the 2 different ancient gods of Egypt. Number 7's Arizak, 8's Tharnog, 9 is Thrace, and 10 is Kallion Shun. And the top reveals are the Dragon, Leodicius, and Bungie. Yes, we all love Bungie.
Yeah.
And then the surprise was Legacy Otho and the figures. The new All-Star, and I can't wait. Hey, Archer, I love you. His least favorite is Blue Hagnon. Absolutely 100% correct there. And then, yes, overall, not the best year for releases. The Poxus Wave is still really cool with Magician and Soft Goods. Brute Scale figures like a 2.0 and Can't Stand, which is something you mentioned, John. Yeah, but otherwise, he enjoyed the figures. And I think that's everything on my list.
Right.
It is, yes.
Right, you ready, Mal?
Yeah. You want me to go next? Okay. Yeah. So starting off with, forgive me for looking away from the screen over here. I've got it over here. Bear Blaze, top 3 releases. Skeleton Legion Builder 2. I think popular one. Fisher Rice, again, popular. Frankenstein. And then he's put honorable mention for Red Armory Builder, which would be one of the ones I would go with. Top 3 reveals: Cog, Leodicius, and Basilia. Very similar to ours there. From Tom Coles. Hi, guys. Received Skeleton Builder 2, Frankenstein's Creature, and one that probably should have gotten a bit more love, as Azar. Revealed another Malignancy of Gob Hollow, Leodicius, and Genum. Anyone else got Paul Hodgson, or is this one on mine?
No, I didn't have him, so.
No. Cool, yeah. Paul Hodgson. My top 3 received in 2024 are Arakagor, Skeleton Builder 2, and the Retail Monkey King. Got to agree with that one, as I say. Top 3 reveals: Windaji the Cackler, Kai Pasha, and Bayathir. Which one was Bayathir?
The dragon.
Oh, yeah. It's just the dragon to me. That
I just call him Bob.
From the Michael Xavier. The top 3 received are Arakagor, Ninian Infantry, and Brother Xavier.
A lot of Arakagor love here, huh?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
and Skeleton Legion Builder 2 as well. For a basic figure, there's a lot of love for that.
And not surprising, Ninian Infantry as well, I think. So, top 3 reveals. Another one of these people giving it his proper name, Bayathir. Leodicius again, a popular one, and Kai Pasha, who was in my sort of potentials for the reveals. If we'd gone 5, it probably would have been Kai Pasha in there. A young man by the name of Jeremy Gerard, recency bias notwithstanding, Cosmic Legion Shadow Circle, ton of value and display options right out of the box, and such a perfect base for customs and swaps. Plus
That's a sales pitch, Jeremy.
I was going to say,
and it worked because Mal read it word for word.
Have we charged him? Plus a fun tribute to an old toy very few people probably saw coming, and you got to agree with him.
He doesn't need to sell this. It's going to sell out pretty soon.
I think he sold a fair few of the Fisher Price toy as well when it was announced, didn't he? So they probably owe him a bit. Right, Chris Ferrone. Number 1, Bastet, very close to the perfect figure for me. I judge figures mostly on their parts and what gap or need it fills for customs. She gave us. Good answer here. First of all, he's put email body. I think he means female body, without lower arms and leg armour. A brown skin female body, which we've not seen since Advent of Decay. It's really more the joints than the body, but I digress. Updates and improved monk-style wrap torso, which was one of my favourite things about that character, even though it didn't really make it into the top. I love that torso. She was almost the perfect figure, except no human head of any kind. That would have made her my number 2 Legion of all time. Wow, okay.
Wow.
Number 2, close second, Skeleton Builder 2. Don't need to say much. This figure is awesome, from the chunky bones to the pointy finger hand. We all love the pointy fingers. Barely loses to Bastet because of my own preference for making custom. Understandable. One huge advantage over Bastet is you got to get damn near 3 for Bastet price. Yes. But still second by photo finish. Then number 3, Ninian Guard with 4 exclamation points. Jeremy Govier, top 10. Number 1, Harakagor. Number 2, Armory Knight / Configurator. So I think he's sort of referencing what we've said or what I said about. Could be a variation on it. Number 3, Thrace. Number 4, Skeleton Legion Builder 2. Number 5, Fisher Rice. Number 6, CC24, which was the Tusk. Was that the one
Lean.
we said?
The Novian Lean head,
Novian Lean one, yeah. Number 7, Tusk Pilot. Number 8, Sphexian Mineworker. I think that's the first person to mention that. I knew I liked you, Jeremy. Number 9, Azazar. Number 10, Blue Hagnon. Hey. Number 13.
Ooh, you really like him now.
You know, top 3 reveals, Kai Pasha. Yeah. A lot of the same ones coming up in these reveals. Number 2, Leodicius, and number 3, Cog. Surprise Anthopheles, how do you say it?
Buzz off.
Yeah, Buzz Off Custom. And least favourite, Ogre 2.
There you go.
So there we go. Yeah, Jeremy and I on a similar wavelength there. And Mr. Kevin M. Boots, 77. I'm guessing that's when he was born. Doesn't look a day over 21. Top 10 in hand. Armory Knights, Fisher Rice, Skeleton Legion Builder 2, Thrace Wraith Hailer, Arakagor, Callian Shun, Alter Solovius. There you go. Someone who it's in their top 10. Ninian Infantry, Gods of Egypt, and the Ghost of Christmas Past. Top 3 reveals, Bayathir. I'll remember its name after this one. Silver Knight 2. And the Armory Knights. Yes, the Silver Knight, of course. That was a good reveal. The biggest surprise, the Gods of Egypt, the Armory Knights. To be fair, that was a good surprise. And how much he loves Fisher Rice in hand. Fair. It's fantastic. Least favourite, Kalazir and Tharnog. Figures are great, but I haven't found an inspiration from Kalazir. He's a great looking figure though. Tharnog's pauldrons are a pain. We touched on that. He's not easy to stand for outdoors photography, and he's very top heavy. You could see him falling off that what looked like a bit of a hill. More than. I left them off and used custom soft goods, which made him a much more useful figure for myself. Great. Thanks, Kevin. Brilliant.
Cool.
And that's mine. Done.
That's you. Okay, so let's round out the rest of them here. A good few of mine are from the Instagram post, so some of the names are just the screen names. So the first one is Action Figure Focus. I think his name is Ben. I don't know the last name. He said it's a tough one this year. Only 3 is such a small number. Top in hand Valiant Knight. So that the in-stock sale. So Valiant Knight would count if you weren't at Legion's Con the previous year. Skeleton Legion Builder 2. And Zende, that's his top 3 in hand. Top reveals the Blue Shield, so that's from Ashes of Agbendor. So basically, Knight Legion Builder, the second version of the original Knight Legion Builder. Kai Pasha and Windaji. So solid there. Sebastian Komarek, I think he's in the Czech Republic. I see him post a good bit on the Cabal. Top received Arakagor, Ghost of Christmas Past, and Retailer Monkey King. And the top reveals Leodicius, Golden Pride of Leandor, and the Dragon. Paul Zach, top 3 received Frankenstein's Creature, Novian Lean, and Skeleton Legion Builder. And the top 3 announced Zolocon exclusive Headhunter, so very recent there. Genom, the Djinn, and the Silver Knight Legion Builder 2. Rory Snaps Toys, Skeleton Legion Builder 2, so just give us 1. Rare and Elusive, top 3 received Arakagor, Novian Lean, and Shadow Circle Fisher Rice. And the top 3 reveals Dragon, and Dragon. Sir Valor, he was surprised that Poxus came out this year. But that was all the way back in January, so yeah. His top 3 is Arakagor, Novian Lean, Arazak. And top 3 reveals is Basilia, Serpentspire Guards. And hey, we don't have to wait another year for more snakes. And number 3 is Mindaje. So I would include the dragon, but I think it's safe to say we all love him. So yeah, fair enough. Then I got a beautiful screenshot from a spreadsheet from Matt Drake, of course.
Yay. Well done, Matt.
And the reason I kept it for me to read out rather than you, Rich, is because I would have had to write his name on it. On the screenshot, so I was too lazy for that, so I just kept it in my list. So ranking, and he's even done 1 is the highest and 10 is the lowest. So
you can tell he teaches. That's making it clear for everybody.
Yes, it's very very well done.
Idiot proof, you might say.
You obviously knew John was going to read it.
Yeah. Oh no, I wasn't going to say that.
You opened the door, Mal. I just went through it.
It's pedagogical. That's what it is. So there you go. There's a big word for you. Number 1, Fisher Rice. Number 2, Arakagor. Number 3, Sphexian Mine Worker. There you go, Mal. Number 4, Ninian Infantry. Number 5, Skeleton Legion Builder 2. Number 6, Operative 83. Number 7, Tusk Pilot. Number 8, Cavern Dwarf 2. Ooh, interesting. Number 5, Vampire Phalanx. And number 10, Undead of Vikenfell. And the reveals besides the dragon, 1 is Antophiles, 2 is Basilia, and 3 is Cog. Biggest surprise, the blue shield. And the least favorite figure he put down was Samir Scroll Warder. So I think you can get behind that as well, Rich.
It was my least favorite of the wave, yeah. So definitely.
Max Hamann from Germany, Skeleton Legion Builder 2, Tusk Pilot, Fisher Rice, and Tarnog. They were his shouts for this year. And the last 2, which just came in shortly before we went on air for recording, Maverick Salvagen, top 3 received Armory Knights, number 1, Gods of Egypt, number 2, Frankenstein's Creature, number 3. And the top 3 reveals is Beatir the Dragon, Stavros the Unwavering, and Graveyard Skeleton Pack. And Anthony Hausil, top 3 reveals for him was Leodicius, Cog, and number 3 is whatever the next Figura Obscura might be. And then his figures in hand. First is Ninian Infantry, not a dwarf, amazingly enough. Second is also not a dwarf, Skeleton Legion Builder 2. Wow,
he
what's
turns them
happened
all
Anthony?
into dwarfs, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's just what can I turn into a dwarf? Not sure he can turn this one. Arakagor is number 3.
He'll try. He'll try.
And an honorable mention for Bastet. So there you go. So thanks for all the feedback to everyone that participated through the various places we posted it. So that's your lot for the awards for this year. We'll speak to you if you catch us on our live stream soon. If that turns out good, I'll also throw it up on the podcast feed as well for you audio listeners. So there you go. Are we ready for 2025?
Let's say no. But
I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay safe over the festive period, everybody. Drink a lot.
Yeah.
But get home safely.
Have a great time. Open all those unopened figures.
Bye, 2024.
It's been a car crash. No, it's been